I hate to be the person to say I told you so, but I told you all. I told y'all, and folks wanted to argue with me. And now what? Huh? Now what? And I'm like, come on through, Cookie. I'm going up on my soapbox. That's basically it. Let's talk about drag and all its forms. What, Cookie? Hey guys, thanks so much for clicking on the video. This is my review for Basketball Wives. This is season 8, episode 3. And that's all I'm going to say. Now what? Let's talk. Let's talk. First thing, Evelyn and Shawnee are outside in the rain after the little situation with Jennifer. Evelyn ain't going for it. Evelyn's still like, Shawnee, you're human, and that's all of that you're saying. Everything is fine. You handle Jennifer however you choose to handle Jennifer. Baby, I'm pissed. I'm pissed, and she gonna have to come better with it. When everything started up, her mama wasn't sick. When she was supposedly out here dragging me and talking mess about me and my daughter, her mammy wasn't sick. She was still very much alive. And I'm gonna need some more. The mama being dead, it's not going to work. That's not going to work for me. There's going to need to be some apologizing, some explaining, and some admittance to the things that you have done and that you have said. Period. She wasn't backing down, and guess what? I agree. You getting sick, somebody else dying, any of that. It doesn't wipe away things that you have done. It does not. It does not. And everybody doesn't soften up like that. So I understood what Evelyn was saying. Anyway, moving on. Jackie, Shawnee, and Tammy got together and they were talking, and this is when we find out that Kenny has actually had a stroke. You know, Kenny is Tammy's ex and her kids' father. And she was explaining, I don't understand why she even felt the need to explain herself, that she's not in love with Kenny, which we know that. Like, we all know that you're not in love with Kenny. We know also that you don't hate Kenny to a point where you want to see him, die or have something really bad go on with him. We understood. I just didn't feel like that needed an explanation at all. At least not for me, it didn't. I understood exactly what she was saying. Yeah, I understood exactly what Tammy was saying, and I just didn't even feel like she had to say it or should have felt the need to have to say it. It's a sad thing. It's a very sad thing. Anyway, moving on. So we see Phoebe and Evelyn, and Phoebe's getting a tattoo, and she was actually talking to Evelyn, and she was saying she was sharing about the death of her grandfather, and she actually got the cancer ribbon on her arm. Yeah, it was interesting. And then again, we're getting to see more of Phoebe and learning Phoebe. And I think I'm gonna like Phoebe. Phoebe is what I would say a real chick. She really is. Phoebe reminds me of a dude. Like, she reminds me of a dude. She's like, as soon as the girls start going off left with the girl stuff, she's kind of like, what was they giving? You know what I mean? She just reminds me of a pretty dude, I think I'm going to like Phoebe. Phoebe, I think, is not going to be one to be crossed. I don't think she's going to be one to be crossed. But anyway, we're going to keep on watching. Moving on. So then we end up seeing OG, Malaysia, Jackie, and Cece. Cece doing the Cece, okay? Cece straddles the fence more than anybody I have ever seen in my life. We find out in this scene that OG is basically caught in the middle. OG's caught in the middle. OG sitting around here. Cece is at a place where she supposedly has made up with Kristen and they're working on whatever they're working on. But then when she sits with OG, she's talking mess. Okay? She's sitting around talking mess and she still got all these issues with Kristen. See, I told you all last week, honey, and people was all in my comments with the bullshit. Oh no, James, I don't care what you say. I saw what I saw. I'm sitting here. I see what I see. When Byron was talking, she had a nasty medieval smirk all on her face while he was saying all that fuck shit he was saying. So I don't want to hear that mess, what y'all talk about. James, you're just team so-and-so. I'm team James. Period. I ain't in love with nobody on this show. You understand? I ain't in love with nobody. But I know sugar from shit. I know chicken shit from chicken salad. You understand? And Cece is chicken shit. She's sitting over there. She's a mess. She's a mess. She bears watching and she need hit upside her head. Anyway, moving on. OG ended up saying something about Kristen got skeletons in her closet and I'm going to be forced to spill it. First of all, OG, you don't like Kristen. Oh, that's fine. Skeletons in her closet. If she ain't bothering you, it ain't your job to be spilling nothing. All about something that Cece, you let Cece fight her own fight, you're going to find yourself in a position doing this. I just didn't understand it. I said, something ain't right. Something ain't right. Let's keep going. Anyway, then we see Evelyn and Jackie. Evelyn is working toward a line of skincare products. And she's planning a focus group. She wants everybody to come. She invited everybody except for Tammy and Jennifer. Jackie, Jackie, shut up. You're doing good. Shut up. Neither one of them need to be invited. Flat out. Moving on. We see Tammy sit down with her daughter, Jazz. Jazz and her talk about Kenny's situation. And then they bridge into the fact that Jazz and Kenny don't have such a great relationship. And the good thing with this is this stroke has opened up Jazz's eyes. She's a young woman. She's a young woman, and she got that burst of life that all of us get at some point or another. You learn that life is too short to really be fretting the small stuff. So I think going forward, I think from what I'm seeing here, Jazz is probably going to reach out to her daddy, and things with her and her dad will probably take a turn for the better. And then she segued into this whole thing with Tammy, telling her if never before you had uh, an eye-opening moment, now would be it. You need to stop smoking, flat out. You need to stop. You need to stop smoking and get a handle on this. Yeah, because tomorrow's not promised. Absolutely. So ended up later on, they ended up going to see a hypnotist, and I just had to laugh because I was sitting there. It was so funny as it was going down. I'm sitting here looking at Tammy, and I'm thinking to myself, because you know my ass can fall asleep on you. Okay, zoom a boom, gone. Okay, and Tammy went. I guess she's supposedly was under the hypnosis, but Tammy was like, I feel like I just fell asleep. I said, Tammy, I think you did too, girl. Even watching the scene, I was ready to go to sleep too. And when she woke up and she was looking at this white woman looking at her all crazy in the face, and it didn't seem, the reaction was like she had been hypnotized. Her reaction was like, where am I? Child, oh, I done fell asleep, child. Why is this white woman staring at me, honey? Why are you here, honey? I got so tickled. I said, Tammy, girl, you just so went to sleep. And I understand, girl. I feel you, Miss Tammy. I died at it. She did. She looked at her like, I know when I wake up, ain't no strange white woman supposed to be staring at my face. I love that whole scene. But we're gonna see. Tammy, if I catch you with a Newport girl, I'm gonna fall out laughing. Anyway, moving on. Okay, my goodness. All right, so Jennifer and Kristen meet up. No, I can't. I can't. I'm so sick of these two, honey. It's still the same stuff. Oh, my mom died, my daddy. When my mom died, my dad just sent me a text message. Well, you know he didn't like you anyway. So what are you expecting? It sounded like your daddy wasn't shit. You knew he wasn't shit, and what was you expecting? A not shit response. He texted you, honey, and that was it, and he moved on, and you should do the same. Stop using all of this as an excuse. And now she's saying, I don't know if being around these ladies is the best thing for me, and I feel like I need some time. I need some time. Well, some time would be great, because don't nobody want to hang with you that way. See you, and we don't want to see you anyway. Bye. See you, Jennifer. See ya. Anyway, moving on. OG meets up with Jackie, and Jackie's doing a butt cast on OG. Always some sexual lesbian type stuff going on. I was like, all right, whatever, no big deal. It's cool. But again, in this scene, I see OG, you want some bull stuff. I was like, I see where you at this season. You on one. So let's go to Evelyn's event. We're at Evelyn's event. Cece and Chris, everybody's doing good. Everybody's having a good time. Cece is there. Malaysia is like, oh my God, this is so great. You all are getting along. Everybody's doing cool. Everything's good here. Cece then invites Kristen to her engagement party. She tells her, oh my God, that's nice. That's really nice of you. Only problem is the date. I'm sorry, but I'm not going to be able to be there because I have to go and do the cancer walk with my mom. And you remember Kristen, I think, is actually from New Orleans, so she has to. I was like, well, why can't you just do both? But no, I think she'll actually be in New Orleans. So that was that. So that was that. And then she was saying, I'm feeling some kind of way. And saying, well, why? She says, I have this whole other little situation. They might have seen something on my uterus, and I need to go in for a biopsy, but I don't want to do anything until after my engagement party because I'm just gonna keep pondering and I'll be all stuck into everything they said and it's just gonna mess everything up for me. Well, you all know how I feel about early detection and cancer, and you sound like an idiot to me talking about you gonna wait for your biopsy. Baby, I flew and got my biopsy and you see what happened. So I am not in agreement with that at all, but I'm not even going to get into all that because I'm going to continue on because I want to be mad with Cece. So I'm just going to continue on and leave the cancer piece alone because that will make me be nice to her. And we don't know whether she has it, doesn't have it, or whatever it is, but she's stupid for not going and rushing and getting her biopsy. She's stupid in my eyes. Early detection saves lives. Anyway, moving on. Kristen says to her, she says, she says, if you need me to go with you to your doctor's appointment or whatever, I will go with you. So I want you to look at him first. She says, girl, I don't want to look on your coochie, but I will definitely, I will go with you to support you if you would like me to do that. She says, thank you. And at that time, about 2 seconds later, OG comes in. You could already tell she was on something. It wasn't very long. She ends up coming, pulling Cece to the side, taking her over to the couch, and she's talking. Now this one's going over, that one's going over, and eventually the whole group is pretty much circled around. And OG decides to have a scene. She's going to have a scene now. And she gets to going back and forth. And the next thing I know, like she's trying to like have it out with Kristen, and she's saying, Cece needs to be her authentic self, like she is with me all the time when it pertains to Kristen. Like, cause you're saying everything's good, but then when you talk to me, everything ain't really good. I just don't. I'm like, where are you going with this, and why at this function? What are you doing? Just try to have a scene, and then she gets all crunked up and gonna call Kristen a fake bitch because Kristen was like, "You just trying to have a moment, and I'm not going to give you a moment. I'm not going to do it." And she's like, "You're fake. You're a fraud. You're fraudulent. You fake ass bitch." I was like, "Whoa, wait a minute." So everybody's kind of like, hold on. What is going on?" Kristen still ain't raising to the occasion. She ain't gonna give it to her, right? Then she starts blurting out some stuff about baby's daddies and all this kind of carrying on. And you saw Kristen go from 2 to like 22, like that. I was like, what the heck? And they were bleeping out, so you couldn't hardly really hear it. And then we cut to a commercial, we come back, and then you figure out what was actually said. Byron is not actually Thomas's father. Byron is not Thomas's father. So Byron, in essence, is not Kristen's baby's grandfather for real. Um, he got with Thomas's mother and he raised Thomas. And she put that out there. You're not even really a Scot for real. This, that, thing, and the other. And I'm like, is this broad serious? And Kristen got so mad. And the thing is, I'm like, well, Kristen, because at first I was thinking that she was saying like that Thomas was not Kristen's baby's dad. But no, this was just like a family secret that went further back. And when it all was said and done, Kristen's going off. So Malaysia and them all get Kristen out in the hall. They got her down the hallway because she's snapping out and crying and carrying on because she's embarrassed. She's embarrassed. She's telling her you should be ashamed of yourself and this, that, and it was all stupid to me because first of all, even if he's not actually his birth father, and he decided to raise him, and he's running around the street, and all these years, he has always said that he was this child's father. For all intents and purposes, you have been the father. Then you are the baby's grandfather, and you are a shit-ass grandparent. You are because you said you were. Nobody else said you were. You said you were, and you're less than a man to be standing around with this stinking whore that you want to marry, and now all of a sudden you're denouncing that you are this child's actual father. But all these years you'd have been his father. You ain't shit, Byron. And Cece, I said you was a raggedy bitch, and you are. You raggedy. And you came in here causing all this dissension and all of this foolishness. You are raggedy. Raggedy. And I told you all. I told you all something wasn't right with her. She's sitting over there looks like, oh. Knowing all along you've been dishing the dirt. And like they said, you were the one that put the strings. You were the puppet master. You've been using OG all this time. And OG is just a fool. She in here blazing. And now she's and this is just how it worked out. Cece, that when they get them all out, Shawnee jumps on OG and told her, you do not expose other people's families. That is so out of order. And she told Cece, and you're out of order for even telling her. You're out of order. Cece used OG. She used OG, and you see how it all worked out. People are a little ticked off with Cece, but OG just got, I don't know how many enemies. Shawnee ain't using her no more. Of course, Evelyn ain't going to be using her no more. Phoebe is brand new, and she was out there consoling Kristen and told her she's fucked up. I don't want nothing to do with her, with that broad. She ain't even met her real good, OG got the real bad end of this. The real bad end of this, but the puppet master all along, Cece was at the beginning and the middle, giving just what I told y'all. And y'all telling me something about me being mean to Cece. Somebody ought to be mean to Cece. Cece ain't shit. Anyway, she's sitting up there just playing stupid. So I said, oh, somebody need to take her in. Let her have it. Terrible. Malaysia go back in there. Malaysia's telling Cece and OG off. I'm like, you created all this stuff, and OG's just going off, and she's out. Get out of my face with all that. This, that. I said, girl, keep on. You and Malaysia gonna be rolling around on the floor. I was like, this is a mess. This is a mess. It's a mess, and all at the bottom, the one person sitting up there, Cece, like she don't know what happened and how this could be even going on. A mess. So I say to you all, now what? Now what? What you gonna put in the comments this week, y'all? I'll wait. What am I now? Team what? Tell me about why CC ain't at fault. Go on, I'll read it.